together, or if you got they're like, oh, we're a little bit more comfortable doing this together, and I'm like, okay, well then
The Mattawan Wildcats Network is on the air. Welcome to today's game on the Mattawan Wildcats Network. Today's game is presented by Honor Credit Union, Main Street Pub, Tapper Automotive, by Hannibal Kitchen Bath Window and Door, Ruoff Mortgage, and by T-Shirt Printing Plus. And now the Mattawan Wildcats pregame show presented by Honor Credit Union. Come be part of it.
High school football is on the air. Hello and welcome everybody high atop Wildcat Stadium for a homecoming edition, a special edition of Mattawan Wildcats football tonight on the Mattawan Wildcats Network. Mattawan welcoming in the visitors from the Capital Athletic Association, the Grand Ledge Comets, and Carolyn Binder alongside Lance Caparosi. Glad to have you along with us. I'm just entranced by everything going on here because there's a lot of energy going on out on the field already. We haven't even started the football game. The crowd is ready to go. The band is phenomenal. The energy is perfect, and we are ready for Week 6, Lance.
You also forgot the sun is going down, so the temperature is cooling. It feels great. It's a great day for some Friday night football.
It's a weird thing to say. This is my ideal weather where it's like 70, 80 during the day, and then right 6, 7 o'clock, as you said, the sun's going down, starts to cool off. It's like perfect balance.
A client of mine was like, "Oh, you're going to hate the heat." I'm like, "I'm not playing. I'm in the press box. I'm talking."
Yes, we are talking, and we are talking about the Wildcats hosting the Grand Ledge Comets. Wildcats coming in 1-4, so a little rough start to their season. We're about halfway through, but you talked to head coach David Arrowsmith ahead of tonight's contest, and he remains optimistic. He's turned programs around, so when he says he's optimistic about this team and their plan and what they're doing, you got to listen to him.
Oh, exactly, and that was something he was talking about. Just, these 2 years that he's been here, his first 2 years at Mattawan as the head coach, it's more of just establishing the foundation and the culture. And he knows once the players that he needs, when they start coming up through the ranks, this program will be turned around. And I think they're heading in the right direction. They play hard every single game, and that's because of Coach Arrowsmith.
Lance talks with Coach David Arrowsmith after this timeout. We'll be back with more pregame and the kickoff between the Wildcats and the Comets after this timeout on the Mattawan Wildcats Network.
Hundreds of vehicles. Tapper has them. 3 Pawpaw locations. Tapper has them. Looking for Buick, Chevy, or GMC? Tapper has them. Looking for Ford F-150, Ford Escape Explorer, or the reimagined Bronco? Tapper has them. 3 Pawpaw locations with new and pre-owned vehicles, expert service, and on-the-spot financing. Tapper has them. Tapper Buick, Chevy, and GMC. Tapper Ford. And Tapper Budget Cars off Red Arrow Highway. Get to the Pawpaw exit 60 off I-94. Tapper Automotive, proud sponsor of the Mattawan Wildcats.
Mommy, what's wrong with Daddy? He just found out how much equity we have in our house. Equity? It means our house is worth more money now than when we bought it. How much more?
A lot more! Like a new garage more!
A new swimming pool more!
Yes!
And with Honor Credit Union's home equity line of credit starting as low as 0.99% APR or a home equity loan as low as 2.99% APR, we might just do it all!
Terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer. Subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity. Insured by NCUA.
This is Lance Caparosi rejoining you with more pregame coverage on the Mattawan Wildcats Network. It's homecoming week, special energy out there on the field, and it's my pleasure to be joined now by head coach David Arrowsmith. Coach, how are you doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm excited to have you back on. You're our first guest that has been on the show twice, so special honors for you.
Hey, I'm excited to be back. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So this season feels different than most in recent memory, coming off of 2020. How has it been for you this year being out on the field with your team week to week?
Oh, it's been fantastic. We don't have the record, obviously, we want right now, but just being able to be out there every day with the guys and just being able to play football has been awesome. Coming out, being able to prepare like we normally have in the past. And it's been a blessing, and it's been awesome.
How have you guys been preparing? How do you guys prepare differently from a team like Portage Northern to a team like Grand Ledge?
I mean, really, we prepare the same. We've seen a lot of your teams, this year already, so it's been very similar. We attack it the same way. I mean, we come in Sunday, have our coaches meetings, get all our information down, and then come in Monday and just treat it like a normal Monday. We'll go over Grand Ledge, watch film. We'll do our installs on Monday, kind of do some basic drill work and what we're going to cover for the week, and then Tuesday, Wednesday is just rep, get a lot of repetitions in, review a lot of the stuff, polish up on Thursday, and then, game day on Friday. So, how we prepare is just a little similar, very similar. Some differences, just the way, we attack their offense versus the spread offense, it's just a little bit different, but relatively for us, are pretty basic on defense. So it's nice.
What is one area of your team that you focused on this week that you were like, I don't want to be exposed?
Really for us, on both sides of the football, it's just developing a consistency on offense and defense. And really what I mean by that is not shooting ourselves in the foot. For example, offensively, stringing plays together like 5-6 plays without having a penalty, without having a 5-yard loss or a 10-yard loss, didn't do. So just really reinforcing the positive things, making them aware of things they did wrong to hopefully help them in the second half, and just bringing the energy out of the second half that we're still in this football game. They scored X amount of points the first half. We can do the same.
So close, I can taste it. Never stop chasing. No, I'm gonna make it. I've had my doubts. Tear them down quick. Brick by brick by brick. That everyday doubt, that everyday roadblock, building up high, you're trying to take me down. Oh, tear them down brick by brick. I got that everyday moment, I'm feeling lonely. Every day remind myself to keep going. Oh, tear them down brick by brick. I've got a really good feeling. For a reason, I've got a really good feeling. 'Cause I'm so close, I can taste it. Never stop chasing. No, I'm gonna make it. I've had my doubts, tear them down quick. Brick by brick by brick. So close, I can taste it. I've been waiting patient, now I gotta face it. I've had my doubts, tear them down quick.
But we call it Panther. So it's basically 2 wides with a full house backfield. It looks very similar to a single wing offense, but it's a lot of direct snap power, outside zone with a few passes sprinkled in here and there. But it's just a change of pace for defenses when, you're used to seeing one guy at quarterback and now you got a different guy back there doing stuff. You have to, defensively, you have to attack that offense a little bit differently. So I like to throw in a few wrinkles here and there.
So last week, I believe Ryan Van Leer had 15 completions in the game. What are some things that you saw that you're going to try to apply this week against Grand Ledge?
Having him get the ball out early, setting his feet and getting the ball out early, using a lot of quick game to get him comfortable in the pocket. I think if we can do that and get him a few completions early, and that really helped his confidence, especially when we did go full drop back. he felt more confident to sit there, set his feet, and go through his progressions where, past games he might go to first, maybe second read, then all of a sudden, bail out of there. So I think getting him started early, getting him a few completions real quick, I think will help build his confidence throughout the there. Again, same thing. Like I remember being out on the field and just looking at the crowds, small town of Gobles, and used to have the old hay bale wire around the field with fence posts, and you got people standing there watching the game. And just the feel of all the energy there and people watching, it's a great time. It's a lot of fun, and then the kids obviously got the big dance. I don't know if they still do them, but we had dances after homecoming. So you're always looking forward to that, I'm pretty sure I showed up to one homecoming dance with a hole in my lip after a football game. But it's just fun. It's a good energy, a lot of fun to be around.
That's just the price of being a football player, the hole in the lip.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure I caught a cleat to the mouth.
Jeez, that's you can save that story for another pregame interview.
Right.
I asked two of your players, Mason Tolentino and James Campbell, who they would vote for on your football team to be homecoming king. Which one of your players would you put as homecoming king?
Ooh, homecoming king. I think I'd have to vote James Campbell. I'd have to throw him here. He's a nice guy, good down-to-earth guy, I'd have to vote for him.
They both went the traditional route and went with the quarterback. So.
Oh, of course they would.
Yeah. They had nothing but nice things to say about Ryan Van Leer.
Oh yeah, he's a really good kid. I love that guy. He's a competitor, and that's what I love about him.
Final question for you, and it's the most serious question we have for today. One big event going on is the annual hot dog sale. What are your go-to toppings on a hot dog?
Go-to toppings on a hot dog. That's easy. Mustard, ketchup, some onions, and relish. Dill relish, not sweet relish, dill relish.
That's a better answer than your players. They gave us just simple ones, ketchup and mustard. Very simple, but, I like it. I like that you had decided to dip in with the onions and the relish. I'm the same way. I love a lot of toppings on my hot dog.
Oh, absolutely.
Coach, I just want to thank you for joining the pregame interview, and good luck.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Carolyn Binder, Lance Caparosi, rejoining you from Wildcat Stadium, just underway between the Mattawan Wildcats and the Grand Ledge Comets. kickoff a couple of minutes before 7 o'clock. It was a squib kick by the Comets, and the Wildcats will move left to right across the Mattawan Wildcats network in pretty good field position and an early offsides penalty. So the first official snap from scrimmage is a pitch to the outside. Blaine Rogers pushes forward, pushes a couple of tacklers forward for about 4 yards, and that'll bring up a second down and short. We're underway. Happy homecoming, week number 6 in the second matchup between these two teams. So an early matchup with these two, just playing last year. Grand Ledge took that by a 38-7 final. In the shotgun, Van Leer hands off on second and short. And that's going to be first down yardage across midfield for Rogers.
Rogers early is just running with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of power, using his shoulders, just, showing that might in the tiny frame, just pushing guys around. You love to see it, and you love to see that kind of energy and that roughness that he's running with. A lot of power behind the way he's running today.
1 minute in the books, first quarter. Full house in the backfield. Handoff is to Daggett. He looks for room across midfield. Scampers for a couple of yards. Our thanks to head coach David Aerosmith joining Lance in the pregame show. And that was his plan. Establish the ground game, get that ground game moving, and we've seen Mattawan be able to establish that pretty much all season long at will. It's just a matter of sticking with it and being able to stick with it. So important to continue to move the football. Van Leer with a full house behind him. He scrambles out of the pocket and nearly picked off. Out of bounds. Kind of lucky that was right in front of the Mattawan bench. Teddy Williams with the quick hands, but he was out of bounds for the Comets.
It was actually a really good catch by him, too. It was out of bounds, but he's a receiver, so those hands, they're good. And they're on the defensive side. Yeah, again, I just want to say thank you to Coach David Aerosmith for coming on the pregame. First two-time guest, which was great. And he had a lot to say this time. It was awesome, and I love talking to him.
A great honor. Now third down and 8, 10-17 to go, opening quarter. Twins to the right and left of the quarterback. He backpedals. Van Leer's going to be flushed. He'll take it with his legs. Evades a couple of tacklers. Going to be short of first down yardage. This is in Grand Ledge territory, though, 42-yard line, I believe, thereabouts. Couple of yards short. 4th and 2. Normally a place where Aerosmith might go for it.
Yeah, I see Connor Daggett out there, and I see Ryan, the normal quarterback. Looked like he was, he's coming towards the sideline. Okay, he's going back out, so it looks like they're going to go for it. I didn't know if we were going to see Connor Daggett under center again and see if they're going to show that Panther package he was talking about in the pregame interview.
It'd be kind of early to mix it in now, but why not? On 4th and 2, 10:05 to go. Just underway, homecoming here at Mattawan, and we're glad you're with us on the Wildcats Network. Carolyn Binder alongside Lance Caparosi. 4th and 2, and a full house in the backfield behind the quarterback Van Leer under center, trying to draw that defense off sides, and good discipline by the Comets defense. And Aerosmith calls for the timeout. We'll keep it right here, just underway. First quarter, we're scoreless. Mattawan starting with the ball 1-4 coming into tonight's game. Their win, a COVID forfeit, but a lot of good things happening, and it was good to hear from Aerosmith. I'm glad you had him on again, and I hope you continue to have him on so we can keep talking about the progress of this program. And I liked what he had to say, kind of obviously acknowledging their records not where they want to be, but there's a lot of good things happening, and here's what we've got to do to hang a W on Grand Ledge.
Yeah, I like, the way he was talking about. He's, the offense is fun. It's high powered. There are definitely big plays in this playbook, but he has like an old school pedigree almost. He said early he wanted to establish the run because he feels like this defense, given enough rest, can compete with Grand Ledge.
Grand Ledge, the second consecutive home game they've played on the road. They lost to DeWitt last week. And 4th and 2. The quarterback's going to keep it, floats it up, and it's complete to Daggett. Connor hauls it in at the Grand Ledge 10-yard line. Huge first down and a whole lot more for the Wildcats. And the crowd rises up to acknowledge that play. You thought for a moment when Van Leer brought it down, he was just going to go for it with his legs, and then he floated a beautiful dime to Connor Daggett.
And it was great when he was rolling out to his right. All the defense had their eyes on him. And, you know, I mean, he can beat you with his legs, and that was set up perfectly. And he, like you were saying, floated right up to Daggett for a nice completion.
Clock rolling, 9:37 to go, opening quarter. And the Wildcats with their opening drive and some momentum here. Daggett on the run that time. Up the middle, just a yard. 2nd down and 9 from the 12 upcoming.
And you like to see that early on, like, you know, using the run to establish the pass. And when you have a multi-threat quarterback like Ryan Van Leer, it opens up more in the playbook.
That was the perfect example of that. They'll spread it out a little bit more this time. Rogers, the lone man in the backfield, and we'll get a false start on the Wildcats.
And that's something to look for, too, in this offense, those quick, short passes where he can get it out quickly, because as we've seen week in and week out later on in the game, because the offensive line, they play both sides, they get a little tired. So those quick passes, giving them a break in between plays, that's what they need to do in order to win this game tonight.
Opening drive, Mattawan at the 17-yard line of Grand Ledge, 8:45 to go, opening quarter. Delayed pitch out to Rogers, and he's going to be hauled in immediately. Maybe a yard on the gain that time. Adam Blue on the stop for Grand Ledge. So 3rd down and long. The swing play this time was a 4th and 2. Thought Van Leer was going to get it with his legs and floated one to Connor Daggett. Back him up 5 yards for the false start. And we're at 3rd and 14. Single man is Rogers in the backfield. Flag on the play. Van Leer looking for a man in the end zone. It's incomplete. And check that, 2 flags within about 5 feet of each other.
I like that play call, though. Getting him out in the open, fooling the defense, thinking he's going to take off and use those legs, and then he just floats one up. But unfortunately, a couple flags on the field.
Referees talking about it. And they're talking to Grand Ledge, so mainly to their sideline. So assume this is going to back Mattawan up a little more. Holding is the call on the Wildcats, so it was 3rd and 14, back them up 5 more yards. And Aerosmith talked about this in your conversation, taking that momentum and moving forward with it versus what we're seeing here. Big play and then kind of shooting yourself in the foot. And they've done that with a couple of penalties. So back them up to the 33. Van Leer flushed out of the pocket, gets it out complete to McKay. He's up the sideline, well shy of the 1st down marker. So momentum stopped there with under 8 to go, opening quarter.
Yeah, and that's one thing, Mattawan. We haven't seen it a lot, but it's those hiccups, those penalties that cost them. And they were in great position. Here they are, still out on the field. We'll see what they're able to do here, but those penalties, they kill you.
Gain of 6 brings up 4th down and 21. Ball is on the Grand Ledge 27-yard line, so certainly an area that Aerosmith has gone on 4th down and does so here on 4th and long. See if we can pump up the crowd even more. Van Leer flushed way out of the pocket. He's got to get rid of it. He drops it near midfield. He was backed up almost 20 yards. Dropped a knee, and that's where Grand Ledge will have it. Turnover on downs, so kind of a frantic opening possession. Started with some promise on converting a 4th down and 2. deep into Grand Ledge territory, unable to convert, and the Comets with the clock rolling 7:29 and rolling will take over on downs, 1st and 10. They start with a single man in the backfield. They split twins to the right and left. A quick pop from Kolb out to his senior wide receiver, Ethan McCartney. He rolled forward for a short gain. 2nd down and 9. That seemed to be a popular connection last week, Kolb to McCartney. The thing I noticed on the stat sheet from Grand Ledge's loss to DeWitt was 2 interceptions on the stat sheet for McCartney. So if they can get him throwing the football and force him to throw the football that time, hand it off to Mason Stocker, and he stretches forward for about 5 or 6. That'll bring up a 3rd down and short. But if they can force Kolb to throw the football, potentially get their defense warmed up here and maybe make something happen with the defense. And they hand it off again, goes up the far side. Stocker, he's certainly the workhorse for this Grand Ledge running attack, and he gets a Comets 1st down. So they march right to left across the Wildcats network. They're up to Mattawan 35-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, they've been a well-oiled machine early on. Every play that they ran has netted them positive yards. This is where you want to see the defense just kind of step up and get a push up front, try to create some pressure.
They'll send a man in motion, fake the handoff, swing pass, and good coverage that time by the defense on Sean Foster as he swung out to the far sideline. Came around, got the quick reception, and short gain for the Grand Ledge that time.
Yeah, I think they got right back to the line of scrimmage, so virtually almost no gain. But that is what you want to see. It seems like the quarterback, he likes those short passes, doesn't like to take it downfield at all. But that run game, that's where you got to try to put the clamps on this team.
Clock rolling, 5:39 to go. We're scoreless. Grand Ledge with the football. Hesitate on the pitch, and again, good pursuit and good coverage by that defensive line. It was a good push, but not an over pursuit by the Mattawan defensive line that time.
No, and great awareness too, because Grand Ledge came out, they had 2 guys in the backfield. The quarterback kept it as he looked like he was handing it off to the fullback, and then he pitched it real quick to the tailback behind him, where they were able to get it. Looks like 2 yards, but again, great awareness by this defense and great pursuit to get to the ball, but not over pursuing.
A 57-15 loss to DeWitt last week is what Grand Ledge is coming off of as Kolb takes the shotgun. He goes right, swings it out to the sideline, and just outside of the reach of Sean Foster, incomplete. And the Mattawan defense stands tall, brings up a 4th down and 9. We are a bit into Mattawan territory at the 34-yard line, so maybe head coach Joe Brya going to return the favor on the 4th and at least manageable call it under a 4th and 10. And it looks like Kolb is staying on the field with the offense, so Comets returning the favor. Single back in the backfield behind Kolb. He drops back 2 steps, double covered. Pass was batted around, and Wildcats are celebrating an interception, but flag flies near the offensive line. Another flag from the Grand Ledge sideline. Connor Schuring with the interception for now.
Another wide receiver using his hands on the defensive side.
Here's the interesting thing. Unless the penalty is on Mattawan, that would give Grand Ledge a 1st down, or it's offsetting, then it's going to be a turnover on downs regardless. But a good catch by Connor Schuring and good concentration. They're talking to both sidelines.
I wonder if they might be looking at like an interference call, but the flag doesn't seem like it's in that area. But I guess I could see why they would call that, because there were 2 guys down. It looked a little rough, and the ball was batted in the air a few times. But we rarely see those calls being called, especially at the high school level.
Yeah, it's, I would say, rare, but even more so when a ball is batted, then it almost becomes anybody's ball. It's not necessarily pass interference, like you need a clear path to the ball, and you need to be obstructed clearly to get that call. Crew's still talking about it. Wildcats sideline staying pumped up. Unsportsmanlike. So dual penalties on Grand Ledge. Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct is accepted. So either way, there was an interception by Connor Schuring. It was fourth down anyway, and then it was two penalties, but obviously just the one enforced on Grand Ledge. So either way, with 4:48 to go in the opening quarter, Wildcats offense going to get the ball back a little bit further back than their opening possession. They'll be on their own 34-yard line. But again, decent field position for this offense to do something with it, and you certainly think that Aerosmith was preaching those good things that happened on the opening drive, saying, here's what we got to do to punch it in.
Exactly, and great hold by the defense to, get their offense back on the field.
Van Leer under center, full house behind him. Handoff is to Daggett, slips a couple of tackles up the far sideline, and that's what he's so dangerous with. He's speedy, and he can slip tackles. He's very slippery. So showing it there where that defensive line got the push, but he blew right by him.
Yeah, no, he has exceptional speed, especially out of the backfield. And I really like it that he just makes those he's a very sound decision maker when he has the ball in his hands. It's one cut and then go. It's not, sitting back in the line. He's a patient runner at that, but also just makes very sound decisions with the ball in his hands.
Gain of 4 for Daggett, 2nd down and 6. Clock approaching 4 minutes to go opening quarter. They stay with the full house in the backfield behind Van Leer under center. Hand it off, and that kind of one and go. Ball pops out. Grand Ledge says they have it. And Daggett does cough it up. Grand Ledge does recover officially. And again, that kind of momentum killer right there in the form of a turnover.
Yeah, turnovers, they do that, but I feel like this is kind of how the game is going to go for us today. Just a lot of turnovers, very defensive-minded game, very few plays being made on the offensive side for either team.
3:50 to go, and the Comets take over. A quick step and lots of yards for Mason Stocker. He was a star on special teams last week for Grand Ledge, and he is making some noise on the offense in this opening quarter. Huge first down run for Stocker. Clock rolling at 3:40 to go, and the Comets will have it from the Mattawan 20-yard line.
Yeah, great run by him, and that was set up again by the offensive line. They're getting a great push on Mattawan's defensive line. See if they clean that up.
Called in the shotgun, Stocker behind him. He's going to play blocker. Called flushed out, and he's going to have to take it himself. Wrapped up, and great tackle in the open field that time by Schuring.
I like the way that kid plays defense, too. Like, this is the second week in a row that we've been calling his name, and he just flies to the ball. But the one thing I love to see from him is his technique when it comes to tackling. He's very good at wrapping guys up. He doesn't go for that big highlight hit. He just goes for the clean tackle to bring the guy down.
Stocker behind Kolb in the shotgun. He takes the handoff, and the pursuit on Stocker was immediate that time. Everybody on that Mattawan defensive line just zoned in on Stocker, and it paid off. They dropped him in the backfield.
Yeah, that was a great tackle by Blaine Rogers, and what I love, we saw this last week, is he's not playing inside anymore. He's playing more on the outside. He's playing as like an outside linebacker where he's creeping on the line, and he's just in there to create pressure. He's able to use his speed to, one, get into the backfield and then make a tackle on the running back.
Both teams establishing their ground game in this opening quarter. Clock rolling at 2 minutes to go. Pitch goes reverse field for Foster, and he's bouncing off tacklers left and right all the way up to the 10-yard line and inside the 10. close to another Grand Ledge first down. They will move the sticks, so 1st and goal upcoming, and that's the danger of having multiple backs at your disposal, because they were all zoned in on Stocker, and they reversed the pitch out to Foster. Sean took it for a big gainer for Grand Ledge.
Yeah, great run by him, and again, the offensive line, they were able to seal Mattawan's defensive players. You saw it right when he made that cut to the outside and the right. Whoever was playing outside linebacker, they just got held in position for them to make that play.
Pitch goes out to Cordall. Reese Cordall in motion. And good pursuit by the Mattawan defense that time. Schuring leading the tackle that time. Short gain of 1. Clock rolling at 1:14 to go. Opening quarter. We're scoreless. Teams trading turnovers. Turnovers on downs. Mattawan lost it on a fumble. And Grand Ledge knocking on the door. 2nd down and goal from the 9. Handoff up to Stocker. He's weaving his way in for the touchdown. And just like that, Mason Stocker from 9 yards out, under a minute to go. Grand Ledge cracks the scoreboard, 1st for 6.
Yeah, you know, the defense, they've been playing well, but that size up front, that is going to be a problem all night. They're getting that good push, which is just, they're able to seal the defense line just for a brief moment in order for him to get into the end zone.
Jeff Kolb and Stocker staying on the field for the 2-point conversion, nearly taken down. Kolb rolls far side and gets it in for 2. Pass is complete.
Yeah, it looked like he pulled a little bit out of Ryan Van Leer's playbook right there. He rolled left, saw the pressure was coming, turned the corner, went back right, saw that his tight end was right there standing in the corner. He's wide open. He just lofted it up there when only in position for him to bring it down.
Teddy Williams, a tall target for Jeff Kolb, and it pays off. 2 points is good. And with 47 seconds to go in the opening frame, it's Grand Ledge 8, Mattawan nothing. Get the ball back for Mattawan here, and maybe 1 or 2 plays going into the second quarter, but both teams really focusing on their ground game, mixing in opportunities for both teams in terms of mistakes by the opponent, but the first big mistake that was able to be paid off for was that Connor Daggett fumble that turned into 8 for Grand Ledge.
Yeah, unfortunately, again, turnovers there are part of the game. You hate to see them happen to the home team, but unfortunately they do. In Grand Ledge, they were just able to capitalize on it. What I want to see going forward is just Mattawan's defense. I want to see a spark of life on that side of the ball.
We'll see what the kickoff looks like. Christian Legal let it fly a little bit higher this time, went with the squib kick. And it's going to be good field position again for Mattawan across the 40 near the 41-yard line for the Wildcats. That's where they opened the game. Mattawan started with possession. Drew Atkinson, the up man, and maybe that's, I don't know if that's just what the kicker can do, but they're going to keep it away from Daggett, it seems like, who's usually deep for the Wildcats. That time, Atkinson getting a nice return. And Van Leer under center from their own 41-yard line, 41 seconds to go. Check that, he's in the shotgun, the quick out, and it's dropped.
And it was, it's a good idea. It was a quick pass. You want to just try to establish something, build a little chemistry with your receivers early in the game. But unfortunately it was dropped. It's one of those plays where, you need to keep your mind on the ball, instead of looking downfield.
Single man in the backfield. Van Leer in the shotgun. Handoff goes to Blaine Rogers, and he falls forward across the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. Clock rolling at 14 seconds. Now under 10, so maybe one more play. Maybe not. And we'll get a flag with 3 seconds left on the first quarter clock.
Maybe too many men on the field?
Yeah, I think so. Illegal substitution. So that'll back them up. And as they went to line up, time expired. So kind of an anticlimactic end to a pretty high-paced first. We'll be back for quarter number 2 after this on the Mattawan Wildcats Network.
From finding your perfect home to lowering monthly payments or getting cash out, Ron Rogers at Ruoff Mortgage is here to help. As a senior loan officer, Ron has been providing customers with straight talk and sound advice for 27 years at Ruoff Mortgage. He's conveniently located in Niles, but can meet you at any Ruoff Mortgage location around our area. Visit his website, ruoff.com/Ron Rogers, or give him a call today at 269-449-0754.
You put a lot of thought into your kitchen and bath, so at Hannibal Kitchen Bath Window and Door, they put a lot of care into making it just right. They've been doing it that way for over 50 years. It's names like Craftsmade, the #1 name in cabinetry that provides unmatched quality every step of the way. At Hannibal, they think quality should come standard. It's why they include a host of sought-after features at no extra cost. From traditional to contemporary, from new construction to renovation, trust Craftsmade and the experts at Hannibal Kitchen Bath Window and Door, 9th Street off M43, Kalamazoo.
Second quarter underway. Ryan Van Leer in the shotgun, stays in the pocket, gets a pass complete.
Braden Yeager bringing it in.
And we are underway in quarter number 2. Carolyn Binder alongside Lance Caparosi. Glad to have you along with us. 8-0 in favor of Grand Ledge after the first quarter of play. Clock rolling at 11:30 to go in the half. And he was short of the first down, so Mattawan going to punt it away, and nobody back there for Grand Ledge. Wildcats will trap them inside their own 10-yard line, and that's going to be key with the defense coming back out. 11:15 to go. Grand Ledge will have the football and has an 8-0 lead here. Homecoming night. The crowd's out here, probably full of hot dogs and their various toppings.
You know, I wish that's what we had, you know, up here, some hot dogs.
The hot dogs, I'll tell you what, the hot dogs were too far away. I determined that almost immediately when I got here, which is unfortunate because it's a great fundraiser for Mattawan Scholarship. And how about this? Opening snap for Grand Ledge, and Kolb was dragged down in the backfield, so good start for the Mattawan defense. They were full of vim and vigor that time. Probably not hot dogs. They eat much better than we do, which is fine because they're playing football.
That was a great defensive play. I like that their defense is still able to keep them inside their own 10, pin back there. They're playing, you know, that was a great play. And, you know, if they're out there high-fiving each other, they're bringing a different kind of energy early in the second.
10:35 to go, second quarter. Kolb with a man in motion on the quarterback option, and he slides forward near the 20, so opened a little bit of a hole. He made something out of it, and they'll move the sticks. First down, Grand Ledge.
No, and you know, even though they did get a little bit of a gain and a first down, just again, it comes down to that push on the offensive line. That's what's going to come down to it all game. How do they respond to that offensive line?
Ground game rolling this clock under 10 minutes to go. Handoff that time to Stocker. And he gets to about the 26-yard line. Maybe about 4 on that gain. Marucci and Atkinson in on the stop, and then a late flag will stop the clock at 9:51 to go, second quarter.
A lot of flags being thrown in this game. It's like 5 of them already.
Love the communication, though, by the guys in stripes. They're not doing it on their own. They're clearly talking to each other every time a flag flies. We'll see what this one ends up being. And they're going to back it up. Looks like holding on Grand Ledge. Comets will back up, and that's unfortunate for the visitors on 2nd down and 3. That'll back them up to about 10 yards, it looks like.
And that was a great run, and he had a lot of room up front, and now we know that part of that was brought on by holding. But again, this offensive line for Grand Ledge, they have been fantastic early in this game. They continue to get a push, continue to create space for Stocker to make some plays.
Let's back them up 10 yards, 1st down and 17, clock rolling, 9:40, second quarter. Kolb in the shotgun, looks far side, and he's going to have to bring it in, and it's tipped and intercepted, or call it incomplete. I got too excited. It looked like he came down with it. Nonetheless, a huge tip because Kolb was rolling to the far side the entire time, and good pursuit by the defense that time. This close, I know you can't see me, but I'm holding my fingers like very few inches apart, this close to an interception.
Yeah, I was looking for the interception, but I heard the whistle, then I saw the arms, going into out, and that's an incompletion right there. But
I saw the Mattawan sideline go like this, hands up, like we got an interception. That was 3rd down, so this will bring up 4th down, deep in Comet territory. Grand Ledge gonna get a block. Punt is blocked, and it's in for 6. A punt block turns into 6 for Mattawan. Touchdown, Wildcats.
And you can hear the crowd right now. They're on their feet just cheering for that play. That was incredible. I believe it was Blaine Rogers again, right there, getting into the face of the punter. Getting a little miscommunication. We apologize for that. But yeah, Blaine Rogers coming from the outside. You could tell because he is in the pink socks tonight, and he got right in the face of the punter. Great block, great pursuit by Mattawan. Heads-up awareness to be able to go and get that ball and bring it into the end zone. They are right back in this game.
Sam Jenkins in for the point after touchdown. It's up and in with 9:22 to go in the half. The score, Grand Ledge 8, Mattawan 7. But you feel that energy just rise back up on this home side. A near interception, a punt block, and a pickup for 6 by Connor Schuring. Blaine Rogers in for the block. Schuring finishing it off for 6. And we've got a 1-point ball game. I always look at those things too. So Grand Ledge went for 2. They're up by 1. How does that play later? And it always puts a little more pressure on your defense. But so far at home, homecoming night, week 6, Aerosmith's defense seems to be up for the task.
And this was what he was talking about. He believes that this defense, the way it is right now, can compete with Grand Ledge and get stops and put this team in position to win this ballgame. They've done that early.
Grand Ledge coming in at 4-1. Their 2nd consecutive homecoming game on the road. The DeWitt Panthers celebrating their homecoming last week with a big 57-15 win over Grand Ledge. Mattawan dropped a 24-7 final to Portage Northern, also in conference play. So both of these teams going out of the conference. And we've got a good one so far with 9:22 to go in the second quarter. Mattawan will put a boot into it after blocking a punt and taking that in for a touchdown. Here comes the dangerous Stocker on special teams for Grand Ledge. He was to the 30 before he was even thought about being touched, and he's finally brought down by his ankles at the 42-yard line.
Special teams can be dangerous, as we've seen with Blaine on that punt block, and then you just saw right there on the return, there was a lot of grass in front of him where he could have continued to go, but great heads-up tackle by Mattawan to bring him down. But special teams, this is where the games can be swung in either team's favor.
So far this season, Grand Ledge averaging 38 points per game. They lead it 8-7. Quick out on the quarterback option. Pitch goes to Caden Walsh, and he's brought down near the line of scrimmage. Blaine Rogers all over the place tonight.
I love the way they're using him defensively, especially on the outside. I like them on the inside because I feel like he has great awareness and he knows where the ball is, but man, when he plays on the outside, it just adds a new level, a new wrinkle to this defense.
Gain of 1 on the play for the Comets. 2nd down and 9. They'll try it the other way. Flushed out of the pocket and brought down way in the backfield, deep inside the 30. This energy, Lance, you called it, and the defense is answering the bell. This energy from the Mattawan defensive line is incredible right now.
No, it has been great, and that right there was a hole that was brought open because, again, I'm going to bring up his name a lot, but it was Blaine Rogers. Looked like he was cutting in. One of the offensive linemen, it looked like they got off their guy and they went for him, and it opened up a hole for another linebacker to just creep right in and make that sack. That was a great defensive play by Mattawan right there.
In the shotgun, Nathan Drosta intercepted. A new quarterback for Grand Ledge, and he's picked off. Landon Burkati all the way back to the Grand Ledge 15-yard line, and that is exactly the recipe on defense that David Aerosmith is looking for, and it's playing out perfectly in the second quarter right now for Mattawan.
And you said this earlier, before the game started, you were looking at the stats from last week, and you said if Mattawan can get them to throw the ball and put the ball in the air, this team, and we've seen it all season, they can make plays defensively by getting turnovers, whether it's punching the ball out or getting their hands on the ball for an interception, and you just saw right there.
They rotated in a new quarterback, Nathan Drosta, and he's picked off. First play from scrimmage for Mattawan. Blaine Rogers tries to get that far corner, just a couple of yards for him. Clock at 7:23 and rolling off the interception. Mattawan started with the football, so this would be pretty big if we could get another score on the board. Plenty of time left in the second quarter, but keep that in mind on this possession as Grand Ledge will start the second half with the football. They send 3 wide receivers to the left side. They'll flare it out far side, and a little too much mustard on that hot dog.
That's what I like to see from their passing game. Just a quick 3-step drop and then one read fired in there. I want to see them go back to that. I love those crossing routes. This is something me and Coach Aerosmith were talking about. I was telling him I believe there's a lot of room, there's a lot of grass in the middle of the, when they're playing, and that's what he was saying too, that they're always trying to throw to a spot, not a player.
On 3rd down and 11, it's batted around. Incomplete, but again, a quick out to the near side. So he talked about this, the drills they did with Van Leer this week in practice, those quick drops, checking down his guys, checking down, boom, 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 going through the progression, check. Just got to get them where his guys can haul them in.
One more thing, staying in the pocket. We've seen it in 2 plays right here where he didn't get, he didn't feel rushed. He just stayed in the pocket, let the play develop, and he fired it right in there.
4th down, 11. Mattawan offense staying on the field. Send 3 wide receivers to the right of Van Leer. Fires it over the middle. And I believe that's going to be an interception, and it is officially ruled. I thought maybe they were going for another incomplete, but it is intercepted. So turnover on the interception on 4th down. That's one of those, though, unfortunately, no worse for the wear. It's just a turnover, but it goes as an interception in the books.
And this is something that I want to see from Ryan Van Leer. And again, being my critical self, I'm going to bring it out. But when he goes up there, he talks to Blaine, we saw that. The defense kind of read what was going on. The linebacker that looked like he was going to blitz and try to create pressure, he actually dropped back. So when you see that, I want to see Ryan Van Leer just try to run it. Just, break the play and just go. Use your athleticism to get some yards.
6:49 to go, second quarter. Blowing through the line that time. Adam Blue. 6:43 to go, and one play, first down Comets.
And this is where I think Coach Aerosmith has to remind his defense, look, you've done well, but let's forget about all that. Let's come out, let's continue to play with energy and momentum, because there's still a lot of a lot of time left in this game.
There's a lot of time left in the quarter, clock rolling at 6.5 minutes, especially the way these teams have moved the football. Quick flare out to the near boundary. Caden Walsh is wrapped up, almost immediately dragged backwards. So good defensive recovery off that big first down run by Grand Ledge. That time loss maybe of 1 or 2. They officially give them a loss of 2. As the clock approaches 6 minutes to go, Comets with the ball and the slim 8-7 lead. 6 minutes to go, second quarter. Stay tuned for our halftime coverage. We'll recap the homecoming festivities, including the football game here from Wildcat Stadium. Check in with this week in the MHSAA and other things going on in Mattawan athletics. Quarterback thought about handing it off, and it's coughed up. They didn't call him down. I didn't hear a whistle. They will officially whistle him down. So break for Grand Ledge, and Drosta, he got folded in half. I'm glad to see him get up under his own power that time.
Yeah, and that was a quick recovery by Mattawan's defense. They had him in the backfield. He was able to slither his way out, get up the field a little bit, and Blaine Rogers made a big hit on the quarterback. Unfortunately, it stays in Grand Ledge's hands.
Gain of 6 that time, making something out of nothing. Drosta hands it off, and it'll be good for another Grand Ledge first down. Mason Stocker, talked about him on special teams, and he continues to be dangerous for this Grand Ledge offense. Drew Marucci brings them down, but Stocker with first down yardage, clock under 5 minutes to go, 4:45 second quarter. Grand Ledge leads Mattawan 8-7. First down and 10 from Grand Ledge 35-yard line. And they'll try it up the center again. Stocker, that time, big offensive line push. There was like 3 or 4 yards before he was even touched, but wrapped up as soon as he hit the defensive line. Hanley and Atkinson in on the stop for Mattawan. They give him 7 with 4 minutes to go second quarter, and they're going to keep calling his name. Stocker is working, but you have to be careful, because you start sleeping on Stocker, and they got a couple more guys that they're able to hand it off to, and that's where Grand Ledge has gained the advantage, albeit a slim one so far, 8-7. And they do stop Stocker short of the first down, so they roll the clock. 3:34 to go second quarter, and a 3rd down and 1 upcoming for this Mattawan defense. In the shotgun, man in motion, the option on the quarterback keeper. And Drosta will get another Grand Ledge first down. So they'll stop the clock to move the sticks.
You know, and again, another missed opportunity for Mattawan to bring the runner down behind the line of scrimmage. I know it was an option, but you know, you gotta keep your eyes on where the ball is, where you think it is, and just pursue and make a play.
Set the sticks, clock rolling at 3 minutes to go, second quarter. Nathan Drost and the Grand Ledge offense moving here, drops back, fires and misfires off the hands of his wide receiver upfield. That's Teddy Williams. He caught the 2-point conversion. That time unable to haul it in near midfield. Second down.
And I like when Mattawan's defense is able to do this. When they're able to take Grand Ledge out of what's comfortable for them, which is keeping the ball on the ground, they have to put it in the air. I like when Mattawan can do that because they can make plays.
We'll send two receivers to the right of the quarterback. Single man in the backfield, drop back again. And way off target, looking for Reese Cordall. Third down and 10. Mattawan already has an interception on Drost. Haven't seen the starting quarterback, Jeff Kolb, since the last drive. And the incomplete pass that time will bring up third down and 10. 2:45 to go, second quarter. Drost on the far hash from his sideline, getting the call from his coach. They send two receivers to his left. Drost in the shotgun, single man, near side, looks far side, looks near side. Now he's scrambling. He's got to throw it away, and just out of danger as a whole pack of Wildcats were coming to get him.
I love to see that kind of pressure being applied to the opposing quarterback. Mattawan got a great push up front. They were able to hold their blocks and create room for that pressure to be created, where two Mattawan Wildcats were right there in the face of the quarterback. 4th and 10.
4th and 10. Comet's going to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. Carolyn Binder alongside Lance Caparosi. Glad you're with us. Week 6, it's homecoming at Mattawan High School. Great festivities all week long, starting with the little ones in the early elementary all the way up through middle school, high school. Everybody was celebrating this week. I had a great time earlier this week at the walkathon with my second grader. Shout out to Melanie, if she's not in bed. She should be, but if she's not, shout out to her. Got some laps in with her, and a lot of great energy out there. And then homecoming parade was the culmination for the high school, of course, today. And the hot dog sales. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, because it's so simple. We talked to Aerosmith, and you agreed with his toppings. Not so simple. You guys are like the Chicago dog guys.
Oh, I love Chicago hot dogs. When you were in high school, did you participate in Spirit Week?
I did.
I think I wore a colored shirt one time. That's about it. I never really participated. Now looking down on everybody here and all the festivities and how much fun people had during the week makes me sad. I wish I would have participated a little bit more.
I participated. This might surprise you. I was on the broadcast crew for a while, but then also I was on the athletic training crew, kind of split my time between up in the booth and down on the field. It's a fun time back in the day, and same energy that I remember as it's out here today. And 4th down, the Comets going to go for it out of the timeout. Skies that one far side and way out of the reach of his wide receiver was Drost. So Mattawan will take over out of the timeout. Turnover on downs. Plenty of time to work with, 2:34, and good field position inside Grand Ledge territory at the 47-yard line.
Grand Ledge has to be kicking themselves right there. They had their man beat with the slants. Unfortunately, he threw to the player instead of leading him a little bit, and the pass was a little high. But, that is something that would have been an easy completion that would have kept this drive going. Fortunately for Mattawan, it's a turnover on downs. We'll see what this offense can do.
8-7 our score in favor of Grand Ledge. Got a touchdown on the ground and a 2-point conversion. Mattawan's touchdown by way of a block punt. Under center, Van Leer with a full house in the backfield, and that tripped up the defense, paid off for the Wildcats. And that's a new name in the backfield. How about that? Your man Cole Bima with a first down for Mattawan.
Yeah, it seems like week after week after week, he shows us something up here in the box that suggests he should be out on the field offensively a few more times. He's a different runner than Blaine and Connor Daggett, that's for sure.
I'm going to call that a small wrinkle because you talked to Aerosmith about the direct snaps to Daggett, and they keep a full house in the backfield. They'll push Bima, or excuse me, it's Rogers that time, near the 30-yard line, and you love that push. As soon as your guy gets hit and you start just pushing him forward, you know Rogers is going to keep his feet moving. And a gain of 6 that time, 2nd down and 4. And this is key right now, under 2 minutes to go. You got to chunk 6-7 yards off. Give yourself a shot here as the clock is rolling with 1.5 minutes to go.
And this is where Mattawan's run game actually shines, when they're running just north to south in between the tackles.
In the I formation, fake the handoff. Van Leer going to do it with his legs across the 30, 25. He gets to the 22. That's where he's pushed out of bounds. Wildcat first down, and more importantly, the clock stops with 1:19 to go. Certainly not panic time. This is 2-minute drill mode, but that was worked to perfection by the Wildcats.
And that was something Aerosmith talked again in the pregame interview about getting Ryan Van Leer just to, make one read, and then when he comes to running, just one cut and then go.
They stay in the I formation. Van Leer under center. Fake the handoff to the up man. They go to Bima, and there were 2 guys that stayed back on that Grand Ledge defensive line, and they made the stop on Bima. Timeout called by Mattawan. 1:07 to go. The Wildcats in position here to make some noise late in the second quarter. They trail Grand Ledge 8-7. It's homecoming night. And a beautiful night for the festivities, a beautiful week, quite frankly, all week long for everything going on across the buildings, and culminating tonight with the homecoming parade. Hot dog sales, I'm going to keep talking about it. I didn't get one, but that's fine. It's going for a good cause, too. Scholarships being paid by those hot dog sales, and teachers out there. Teachers are just amazing because they're in the classroom all day long. My neighbor across the street, Megan Gullo, shout out to her, Young Fives, Mattawan. She's in the classroom all day long. She's in the classroom on the weekends doing work, and then they're out there selling hot dogs for scholarship money, which I think is awesome. So that's why, if you're wondering why I'm bringing up the hot dogs, that's why. Because it's really, there's more important things behind the hot dogs, but I think it's super cool.
I just love hot dogs. I've actually competed in a hot dog eating contest
I was
before.
going to ask, but I'm glad you brought that up.
I have done it. I lost, unfortunately. I ate 11. I needed 12.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, that was a rough day.
All right, well, out of the timeout, the Mattawan Wildcats need 10 yards on 2nd down and 10. Clock at 1:07 to go. They stay in the I formation, and the pursuit on Rogers. It's almost like they got a spy on whoever gets the football. Not much running room for him that time, as clock under 1 minute to go, and hurry-up offense employed. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Fake the handoff. Van Leer going to take it himself around the corner. He's got the edge inside the 10, 5. There's a flag on the play. He dove into the end zone. And we're going to wait on the call. No touchdown call. holding will be the official call on the Wildcats. So all that excitement will bring it back.
No, I'm not gonna. You know, we're up here in the press box, but it's hard to see where that holding call was. I mean, we saw Ryan Kiesling downfield. Looks like he was just making a pretty clean block. I mean, he's much bigger than the defender, so it looked like he had more of a control over him. It's hard to call a holding call right there, but we got to give it to the refs. You know, they're out there, they're making the decisions, but that's an unfortunate flag right there for Mattawan.
So 36 seconds left in the half. They'll mark the ball at the 15-yard line. They call it a 3rd and 4. So it's a spot penalty. Handoff goes to Rogers. He weaves his way for first down yardage. And I want to thank him for wearing the pink socks as he's in the backfield. Easy to spot.
Very easy to spot.
We stop the clock at 30 seconds for a timeout for Grand Ledge. We'll keep it here. 30 seconds to go, second quarter. Carolyn Binder alongside Lance Caparosi. Glad you're with us, and we've got a good one. 8-7 our score in favor of Grand Ledge, but Mattawan knocking on the door. Timeout for Grand Ledge. Out of the timeout, it'll be first down and goal from the 9 for Mattawan. And they've got a touchdown by way of a blocked punt, picked up by Connor Schuring in for 6 for Grand Ledge. They scored on the ground and added 2 after the touchdown. So 8-7 our first half score with 30 seconds to go. Stay tuned for our halftime coverage. Halftime show coming up in 30 seconds. We'll recap all the action here from Wildcat Stadium. Check in with this week in the MHSAA, some high school golf, swimming and diving, hand out some game balls, and we'll meet Hannah Thompson of Schoolcraft High School, star soccer player turned kicker. So of course, after my heart for a couple of reasons, we'll meet her this week in the MHSAA. That coming up after 30 seconds of gameplay. Out of the timeout, fake the handoff, man in the end zone, and where are the flags? There they are, mauled in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by, not surprised that they throw the flag. Clearly that was pass interference right there, which we were talking about is very rare, but it seems like, you know, we're getting what we want. I'm surprised, like he just full on tackled the receiver before the ball was there.
Marucci was in the corner, and it was one of those floaters again that was just, you just had to make that noise because you knew he was going to catch it, and Marucci was mauled in the end zone. So first down and goal upcoming, half the distance. So first down and goal from the 4. They're in the eye. Snap, Rogers pushes forward, stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And clock rolling at 13 seconds. We'll get another timeout, Mattawan. And that's their final timeout of the half. 11 seconds to go. We'll keep it here again because we don't want to miss any of this final 11 seconds. That was a pivotal play just a couple of plays ago for a couple of reasons. Number one, it was a penalty that brought the ball closer to the goal line for Mattawan. However, without that, Marucci, that connection, that would have been caught. It's one of those that was so clear, that would have been caught. And that shows whatever drills they were running with Ryan Van Leer in practice, those quick pops, stay in the pocket, all those things that you talked about with the head coach this week, that's clicking right away.
Yeah, you're starting to see Ryan trust his offensive line a little bit more. You know, I mean, we've seen a few plays where he's improvised, where he's scrambled a little bit, made plays with his legs. But tonight, especially in the second quarter, we have seen him stay pat in in the pocket and just letting these plays develop. That is trust right there in his teammates.
Mattawan out of timeouts. Grand Ledge with 11 seconds to go in the half. Mattawan knocking on the goal line. They trail Grand Ledge 8-7. On the option, flushed. Van Leer got to get rid of it, and does on 2nd down and goal from the 5. So that'll bring up 3rd down and goal. 4 seconds to go, and they'll bring out the kicking team. So this is where that 1-point differential kind of plays into what you do. And I like this call by Aerosmith this close to the goalpost, especially with 4 seconds to go. Sam Jacob with the right foot on the near hash. And Grand Ledge gonna try and ice him. So, little game of chess being played in the 2nd quarter between the coaches. Gotta love it. And a ground battle so far, and really this is the true definition of defense writing the story of this first half with an 8-7 score.
Yeah, I don't expect the score in this game to get very high. This is more of just like, it's more of a chess match. It's just more of like, I'm going to put my best defense out there. I'm going to see if you can try to break us. And that's what both teams are doing. And, we've gotten a good game. Just because it's a defensive battle, there's not a lot of points being put up, it doesn't mean it hasn't been exciting. This has been a great game so far, and I'm looking forward to the second half.
Special teams getting the job done on the scoreboard for Mattawan. They account for their touchdown, a block punt. And out of the timeout, the snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up and good. Sam Jacob puts Mattawan up 10-8 with 1 second to go in the half. But special teams with the first score for Mattawan, a block punt, Carter Schuring in for 6. Sam Jacob adds the extra point and adds football to start the second half. So from a psychological standpoint, this means everything to Mattawan going up. Pair of legs on the other side, Mason Stocker, and they're going to keep it away from him. So Grand Ledge scoops it up. Reese Cordell takes the knee, and that is the end of the first half. After 1 half of play from Mattawan Wildcat Stadium on homecoming night, it's the Wildcats 10, Grand Ledge 8. Our halftime show is next on the Mattawan Wildcats Network.
Mommy, what's wrong with Daddy? He just found out how much equity we have in our house. Equity? It means our house is worth more money now than when we bought it. How much more?
A lot more! Like a new garage more!
A new swimming pool more! Yes! And with Honor Credit Union's home equity line of credit starting as low as 0.99% APR, or a home equity loan as low as 2.99% APR, we might just do it all!
Terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer. Subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity. Insured by NCUA.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Top swim teams battle in Northville, and a fantastic finish on the gridiron capped by a receiver's huge night. It's all next on This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, Michigan's go-to resource for student financial aid. I'm John Ross, and welcome to This Week in High School Sports. Northville hosted a swimming and diving quad over the weekend, and it brought 4 powerhouse teams to the pool. Joining them were Ann Arbor Pioneer, Birmingham Seaholm, and Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook Kingswood. That's last year's Division I champ, Pioneer, last year's Division II champ, Seaholm, last year's Division III champ, Cranbrook, and last year's third-place finisher in Division I, Northville. And when it was all said and done, Pioneer swept all 3 matches, with Stella Chapman and Sophia Guo turning in some big-time performances. Chapman finished first in the individual medley and backstroke and was on 2 first-place relay teams, the 200 medley and 400 free. Guo was first in the 100 freestyle, second in the 50 freestyle, and was also on 2 first-place relay teams, the 200 medley and the 200 free. The host team, Northville, finished second. The 2021 Lower Peninsula Girls Swimming and Diving Championships will take place November 19th and 20th. The D1 finals will be at the Holland Aquatic Center, Division II at Oakland University, and Division III at Calvin University. Game balls this week go to Spring Lake golfer Clara Saunders. Saunders paced a balanced attack at the Ludington Invitational that saw her Lakers finish first among 12 teams, and her team best 87 was good enough for 3rd overall. Ludington finished second, 5 strokes back. The Marquette volleyball team. Playing in the 9-team Redette Rumble tournament, Marquette went 5-0 to take home the title and did so without dropping a set. They won 2-0 against Brimley in the semis and then Kingsford in the championship match. And to Woodhaven's Cornell Perry. Perry caught a touchdown pass in the game's final seconds to give Woodhaven a 33-28 win over Allen Park. Both teams were undefeated coming into the matchup. Perry ended the game with 9 catches for 164 yards as Woodhaven moves to 5-0.
Need money for college? You need My Student Aid. My Student Aid is the go-to resource that helps Michigan families find money to pay for college. Plus, they'll guide you through the financial aid process and answer any questions you have. For grants, scholarships, and more, connect with My Student Aid, helping make college affordable for everyone. Learn more at michigan.gov/MIStudentAid.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Sam Davis.
3 things can happen if a field goal attempt crosses the line of scrimmage but comes up short of the goal line. Do you know all 3? First, the ball can go out of bounds. If that happens, the ball is dead, and on the change of possession, the team newly on offense takes over where the ball went out of bounds. Second, the kicking team can be the first to touch the ball. When that happens, this is the first touching, and again, the team newly on offense takes over where the ball was down. And third, the receiving team can return the kick, and they would take over on offense after the returner has been tackled or goes out of bounds. Think of a field goal attempt as a punt, and you'll always know what's possible if the kick comes up short of the goal line.
Thanks, Sam. You can be a referee. Just go to the MHSAA website now to register. Schoolcraft's Hannah Thompson had a huge junior season on the soccer field. She scored 87 goals, which set the individual season state record. She didn't just set the record, she smashed it. Her 87 goals last year were 21 more than the previous record of 66 set in 2001. In fact, Thompson's 87 tallies are more than the boys' record of 76. So how does she spend the fall season of her senior year? By being the place kicker for the Schoolcraft football team. Through the team's first 3 games, she is 4 of 5 on point after tries, and she is the first female football player in school history. She's committed to Eastern Michigan to play soccer and will look to add to her goal-scoring record this spring. For more, be sure to check out secondhalf.mhsaa.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross. We'll see you next week.
High school sports are as American as apple pie. And going to a game or meet is a chance to see the stars of tomorrow shine today. But as anybody who's ever attended a high school sporting event in Michigan knows,
went in favor of the Comets by a 38-7 final. And that's the other thing to kind of point out. I know you talk a lot about Mattawan's defense and typically the push that opposing offensive lines get on the Mattawan defense. But Grand Ledge as an offense is averaging 38.4 points per game, so that cannot be lost, that the defense went in holding them to 8 first half points.
And I think that goes really, points out to the way Mattawan is running their offense. Like they've been staying out on the field for much longer drives than we've seen all season. They've been able to keep the ball on that side, giving that defense a nice breather, giving them a chance to catch their breath and, regain their footing and their composure as well. And that is, again, something Coach Ayersmith said. As long as they can control the run game, keep their offense on the side, they're going to have a chance to win this game. And, I mean, that is impressive to really only keep, the Grand Ledges, keep their scores, so low.
Halftime festivities continuing here. They've introduced the court, per usual, a good mix of athletes and students, non-athletes alike. You like to see that mix out there. Disappointed a little bit, and this is completely tongue-in-cheek, Chad, but we did not get a ballot. Talked about it last week. We did not get a ballot, so we are not part of this vote. That is okay because there's a lot of fun being had down there. Clearly, everybody's here for it. A beautiful night, and so well deserved after this. They mentioned this at the top of the halftime show, and I really appreciate this. Last year, we had the Triple E scare starting games at whatever time in the afternoon, 4:30 before the sun went down, all that stuff. A couple years ago that was. Last year, of course, with COVID, and just, it cannot be stressed enough. Yes, we are still in the midst of COVID and dealing with things having to do with that, but the fact is we're here playing football. We're able to get out here safely and do these festivities, and you can really tell that the student body is here for it.
Oh, the entire community. I mean, like, there's almost virtually no place for people to sit. They are lined up all around the track. I'm just trying to paint a picture for the viewers at home. It's just, there's people everywhere. This is an incredible moment right here. And just like you were saying, like, we're not really back to normal yet, but we're kind of almost there. And this is just, if you want to see what normal is, just go to a high school football game on a Friday night.
Love it. And the ideal temperature happening at the moment as the sun goes down. It was about 80-ish, low 80s today, so that was cool. And then the sun went down and it cooled right off. Beautiful temperatures as we make our way through the halftime festivities. We went around this week in the MHSA. Let's drive around this week in Mattawan athletics now. In golf, Charlotte Stenger, she's one of my favorites. Again, I don't want to meet her on the golf course. She made 4th in the gold division, the pre-regional match today. Impressive, doubling down on earlier. I know she broke 100 earlier in a tournament. 85
That's impressive
out there. So nice job, Charlotte. Way to go and keep up the good work. Varsity soccer also in action with a big 3-0 win over Loy Norix. Easton Holler with a goal. Simon Wilkie with a couple of goals. Assist to Will Kuiper, Joey Griffith, and Josh Kievit with the shutout. So congratulations to Wildcats soccer. The JV boys getting the sweep, defeating Loy Norix by a final of 4-1. Charlotte Stenger earlier in the week, so she's all over the place. 8th in the SMAC at Bedford Valley earlier this week. So I'm going to triple down on my comment that maybe at the driving range I'll meet you, but not out at the golf course for sure. Charlotte Stenger absolutely tearing it up on the golf course, and congratulations to her and her success earlier this week. Volleyball also in action earlier this week. A sweep of Gull Lake. The freshmen 1-2, JV 1-3, varsity 1-5. So big time action for Mattawan volleyball earlier this week. We will be in action covering volleyball later this upcoming week, and look forward to bringing you that on the Mattawan Wildcats Network. Rolling back earlier, both JV soccer and varsity soccer defeating Battle Creek on the 28th, 8-0 in their game. So huge wins for both JV and varsity soccer back on the 28th. And the boys tennis team defeating Portage Northern 8-0 in conference action. Also on the 28th, the number 2 ranked Wildcats 14-0-1. So awesome job all the way across Mattawan Wildcat Athletics this week, leading up into celebrating homecoming and, of course, culminating with the varsity football game. And we've got a good one here tonight as the Wildcats lead the Grand Ledge Comets by a score of 10-8. We'll step aside and prep you for half number 2 after this timeout on the Mattawan Wildcats Network.
From finding your perfect home to lowering monthly payments or getting cash out, Ron Rogers at Ruoff Mortgage is here to help. As a senior loan officer, Ron has been providing customers with straight talk and sound advice for 27 years at Ruoff Mortgage. He's conveniently located in Niles, but can meet you at any Ruoff Mortgage location around our area. Visit his website, ruoff.com/Ron Rogers, or give him a call today at 269-449-0754.
You put a lot of thought into your kitchen and bath, so at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, they put a lot of care into making it just right. They've been doing it that way for over 50 years. It's names like Craftmade, the #1 name in cabinetry that provides unmatched quality every step of the way. At Hannibal, they think quality should come standard. It's why they include a host of sought-after features at no extra cost. From traditional to contemporary, from new construction to renovation, trust Craftmade and the experts at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, 9th Street off M43, Kalamazoo.
About to get underway in half number 2 from Wildcat Stadium. Carolyn Binder alongside Lance Caparosi. Glad you're with us as we make our way through homecoming night, week number 6. And it's the Mattawan Wildcats leading Grand Ledge by a score of 10-8. Great mix, as we've talked about, between offense, defense, special teams getting the score for Mattawan on both accounts, between their kicker and a block punt picked up by Carter Schuring, who was out there in the homecoming court.
Yeah, I believe he won. It looked like he was wearing the crown, and it looked good on him. So,
you know, you asked the question of head coach David Aerosmith, one of the more important, in air quotes, you can't see me, but more important questions, who would you put the crown on? And he actually chose one of the lesser known guys, maybe, James Campbell. And I like that call. I like what he had to say about him. So he didn't just say, oh, I'm going to pick James Campbell. Like, he backed him up, which I really appreciate when you talk to the players also ahead of that interview. They went the more traditional route with their quarterback, which is, come on,
yeah,
who else are you going to say?
I wanted them to see them stick up for their own position group, the offensive line, and I'm glad Coach, Aerosmith did. He gave it to the offensive lineman. It's a very underappreciated position in the game of football, but tonight they are playing well. I love the push they're getting on Grand Ledge, and, big shout out to Coach Aerosmith for picking James Campbell, but congratulations to Carter Schuring for winning the crown. Again, looked good on him. Traditionally goes to a football player. Glad they're keeping the tradition alive here at Mattawan.
And, I don't know if the dance is directly after the game. I'm used to, so back in my day, not that long ago, the dance was on Saturday night. So everybody who was on the court, which, shocker, I was never on the court, that's fine. But they were all dressed up Friday night. Then we all get to get dressed up Saturday night, go out to dinner, and then go to the dance. So more traditional, what I'm finding when I exit the parking lot is the kids go right over to the dance, which is kind of cool. You talked to David Aerosmith about that, and I believe we're in the same age range age-ish, and so he's talking about his homecoming experience, and he is a true hero because he went to the dance apparently with a hole through his lip.
Yeah, somehow he said he got cleated. And, I don't know what he was doing on the ground. I don't know what his face was doing exposed, but it almost seemed like he played football back in the day where there were no face masks, like he was leather helmets. That's what he was alluding to, and I'm thinking to myself, you're not that old. But then again, it is Goebbels. You never know. I don't mean to call him out, but, because we're friends with Coach Aerosmith.
Of course.
We can joke a little bit.
Friend of the program,
Yep.
Head coach David Aerosmith, and a great program over in Goebbels, albeit smaller in size in terms of population, but I'm thinking David Aerosmith and I are around the same age, and I can guarantee you from being on the athletic training staff, we were wearing face masks on our helmets.
Well,
thanks for making me feel way older than I really am.
So, but Goebbels, they're known for one thing, producing pretty good head football coaches.
Yes.
So David Aerosmith, there you go. No, homecoming's fun. When I was in high school, it was, the dance was right after the games. I didn't really participate so much in those as well. I don't really know why, but wasn't big on dancing. So, but when I was in high school, the dance was directly after the football game or the basketball game, whatever sport we were in at the time when the dance came on. So,
Wildcats are dancing after one half of play. On homecoming night, they lead Grand Ledge 10-8, and we are about to get underway in the second half. Comets will have the football lining up to our left, so they'll move left to right across the Mattawan Wildcats network. Wildcats special teams taking their positions, crowd rising back up, and here comes the energy. Mason Stocker, one of the deep backs, and they've been happy to keep it away from him. Awaiting the kick of Sam Jacob upcoming. And back to action. The Wildcats and the Comets. The right foot of Sam Jacob into it, end over end, and it does go to Stocker. He's across the 20 to the 25, wrapped up around the 27-yard line. That's where the Comets will have it. First down and 10, Mattawan leading 10-8. Just underway, half number 2.
See how this defense responds coming out. See if they bring the juice in the second half and that energy. Certainly they're being pumped up from this home crowd, and you can just feel the energy everywhere. We'll see if it translates to the defense side for the Mattawan Wildcats.
First play from scrimmage for the Comets. Snap in the shotgun handled. Stocker rumbles down to near the 35, just short to the 34-yard line. Gain of 4. Blaine Rogers leading the tackle for Mattawan.
Those pink socks are a blur.
He fell forward for a couple of more. He was wrapped up after 4, got a couple of yards after he was contacted. Second down and 4. Handed off to Stocker again. He turns on the Jets across the 45. Ball's out. Mattawan says they have it, awaiting the official call. And they have it. How about that? Mattawan recovers the fumble. And 3 plays from scrimmage for the Grand Ledge offense. Mattawan takes over another turnover. And here comes the Mattawan offense with a 10-8 lead.
And it looked like a homecoming king. Carter Schuring popped that ball out. They're patting him on the back right here on the sidelines. They're all fired up, and let's see what they do offensively.
Got the crown, got the ball, and in the shotgun is Van Leer. The delay, sliding up across the 40 is Blaine Rogers, and that was a sneaky little delay. He kind of sat for like a beat, and he let that hole open up, slid right through it. He's just short of first down yardage by maybe half a yard. Call it 1.5 inches, the official measurement, and Rogers will get the rest. So 2 runs for Blaine Rogers off the recovered fumble by Carter Schuring. First down, Mattawan. 10:36 to go, third quarter. Mattawan driving right to left across the Wildcats network. And they have a 10-8 lead. Ball officially marked on the Grand Ledge 36-yard line. First down and 10 after the 2 runs by Rogers. And I think early movement up on that line will back Mattawan up. 5 yards on the penalty, and go back to that message from Air Smith. Big play, you got to keep moving forward. Cannot afford to do any of that. And I know it's nitpicky with a lead, but it's a slim lead at 10-8, clock rolling at 10 minutes to go, but 5 yards could make a difference. First and 15, shovel out to Blaine. He drops a shoulder across the 40 and almost gets the penalty yardage back.
It's a good run by Blaine and a great stiff arm right there to get a few more extra yards. And, again, back to what you were saying, like, you keep making plays and then you get brought back. And that's something that has to be cleaned up. But, again, it's nice to see how positively they're responding to that flag.
9:33 to go, third quarter, second down and 13. Gain of 2 by Rogers. It's been the Blaine Rogers show on offense. Drop back, quick pass, that's out complete. Across the 35 to Ian McKay. His first reception of the game. And makes this a third down and a little more manageable. And again, going back to those drills that David Aerosmith talked about for his quarterback, those paying off in big ways. Those quick pop passes, you see, seems a little more, or I should say a lot more confident in the pocket. He's not just automatically dropping back 5 yards right off the snap. He's staying in there, the quick pop pass. He's trusting his receivers on the checkdowns. And it's a third down and 8 in the shotgun. Fake the handoff to Blaine. He's going to have to run this out. He's got a man downfield, and that's incomplete. We'll bring up fourth down from the Grand Ledge 35-yard line.
And what we're seeing on a play like that is that the defensive line, they are getting a push up front, but when he rolls out, they're releasing and automatically responding to the quarterback. The offensive line, you got to be able to hold, when it's a play like that where it's going to be a little bit longer, where you're going to have to hold your block a little bit longer than you normally would. You just got to be able to get in there, and you got to fight through that, that awareness just to want to stop. But when he's rolling out, he needs a little bit more time in order for these plays to develop.
8:33, third quarter, fourth down. Offense stays on the field, dropping back. Van Leer lets it go into coverage, tip, and caught for a first down. Mattawan near the Grand Ledge 20-yard line. There is a flag on the play near the original line of scrimmage, so hold the excitement for the call. And they're marching Mattawan back, so holding the official call against the Wildcats, so bring it back. And on fourth and long, Jacob will punt it away. And what a swing in momentum after Mattawan picked up a fumble, got an extra offensive possession. With 8:05 to go, third quarter, we'll punt the ball back over to Grand Ledge. Mattawan leads it 10-8, but certainly a deflating series of events on that offensive possession for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and it was a great throw by Ryan Filler, a better catch by, I believe, Ian McKay. It's just unfortunate that a flag was thrown on the, for holding, but it is what it is. We'll just see how they respond defensively.
Defense back out on the field with a 10-8 lead, and back under center for Grand Ledge, Jeff Kolb. Foster on the carry. Blaine Rogers in on the stop for the Wildcats. They'll give them 4 on first down, second down and 6, 7:54 to go, third quarter. Mattawan holding a 10-8 lead on Grand Ledge. Grand Ledge with the ball. They hand it off again. The Comets content to keep it on the ground. Handoff goes for 2 for Stocker. James Campbell in on the stop that time for Mattawan.
And again, I like the push that Mattawan's defense is getting up there. You're going to live with a couple positive yards from here and there, but just again, to be able to continue to play with this kind of energy and get that push, to be able to make plays on the ball, that's great to see.
Third down and 3, big possession here for the defense, and I think they stopped him. He's going to be short of the sticks. Well, they moved the sticks, so not quite. Yes? No. I thought he was short. Bima with the stop. They do give him first down yardage. On forward progress, it must have been just beyond the stakes. So Grand Ledge stays alive on this drive. 6:43 to go. Cole Bima on the stop for the Wildcats.
Man, it must have been just a fingernail over the line, because it looked like he was stopped, a yard or 2 behind.
Ball officially marked on the 32-yard line. Airing it out is Kolb, and great defense upfield. Not only to bat the ball away, Daggett with great hands to stay off of the receiver and avoid any potential pass interference. Brings up a second down and 10.
Yeah, it was just him and it was Connor Daggett and his man on an island, and he won. Just a great defensive play. It's easy to, lose sight of the ball, lose sight of your man, but great awareness for Connor Daggett to make a great play on the ball.
6:28 to go, third quarter. Second down and 10 on the incomplete. They'll send it end around, some running room up the near side. Foster with the carry that time near the 40-yard line. And Blaine Rogers again in leading the tackling that time. They'll give him a gain of 7 to bring up third down and 3. So third down and short the last time around, and Grand Ledge able to keep this drive alive with a fingernail across the first down marker. With under 6 to go in the third quarter, Kolb in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his left, trying to get the corner, and he will not get the first down this time. Dropped in the backfield. Great defensive response on Brendan Huggard.
Cole Bima right there with a big hit and a great stop. The punt team looks like they're coming on to the field. Great defensive stop by the Mattawan Wildcats right there.
That's what it's all about, building blocks for the Wildcats. They own a 10-8 lead, clock rolling at 5:16 to go, and I don't think they're lining up for a punt.
No, they're not. They're keeping the offense out.
No, they're keeping the offense out on the field. 4th and 4, full house in the backfield. They hand it off, they bunch it around. Sean Foster, drop him in the backfield, and Mattawan going to take over on downs in Grand Ledge territory. So huge response by this Mattawan defense. Carter Schuring getting it done. He was in on that fumble recovery on the last possession. He's in on the stop. Hang on, though. There is a late flag on the play.
Not really sure what the call is. Looks like they're still discussing it.
They haven't picked one up yet. I'm wondering. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Comets is the official call. You always wonder when they take that much time to discuss and they're not really huddling what the call, if they're going to pick it up. They do not pick this flag up, and it benefits Mattawan with an unsportsmanlike conduct on Grand Ledge. Under 5 to go, 4:57 third quarter. And huge momentum for the Mattawan defense. Make a stop on 4th down. They have a 10-8 lead on Grand Ledge, and now the football in a little better field position on the 24-yard line of the Comets. They send a full house to the backfield. Handoff goes to Rogers. He slices across the 25 near the 20.
I like to see this play package for Mattawan. You know, I mean, it's a little bit older, old school, you know, like something that you would see in my high school days where, you know, you got the eye form, you got multiple backs in the backfield, and they're just, you know, the quarterback, which we haven't seen a lot, is just right under center, likes it, lets him run it. And,
I like that old school look, and Coach Aerosmith talked about that, and I think it's benefiting what he wants Van Leer to be doing, and that's staying in the pocket. They'll send a full house again. Man in motion is Daggett. Pitch it out. Looking for room around the corner and got it. Here goes Blaine Rogers. Turns on the Jets. Pushed out of bounds near the goal line. Another flag on the play, though. A first down for now for Mattawan. Crowd on this side urging the referee crew to pick up the flag, and another holding call on Mattawan will bring that one back, but you gotta like what that play was. I know that there was the benefit, they say, of a holding, so you gotta believe that they have the better vantage point than we do up here, but man, that was beautiful.
And what was great was, like, there was no hesitation on the pitch. You know, a few times tonight we've seen that hesitation where, like, you know, it looked like the quarterback didn't know if he wanted to keep it for himself. But right there, the play developed nicely and organically, pitched out real quick. Blaine was able to hit the corner, get to the outside. Fortunately, brought back with a holding call.
See if they can do it again. Clock rolling, 3:45 to go, third quarter. Fake the pitch, roll out. Van Leer looking opposite side of the field, floating it out of bounds. We'll bring up third down and 11 on the incomplete. And this is one of those pivotal moments going in the wrong direction for Mattawan. Doing a lot of good things, a lot of good building blocks, starting with their defense, getting things done, getting the ball for their offense deep in their opponent's territory, and intentional grounding going to be called against Ryan Van Leer to back Mattawan up even further, so salt being poured directly into the wound of the Mattawan offense right now, and they keep moving backwards.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, not to be that guy, but I will pull the silver lining out right here out of that.
Do it.
Is keeping the defense on the sideline so they can get some rest. And that's where this game is being won, is defensively for Mattawan. We spoke, you know, a lot about Grand Ledge averaging 38 points a game. Tonight, only 8. Mattawan's defense has responded positively. They continue to do so. Let's see if they can make a few plays offensively.
Third down and 27, and David Aerosmith wants to talk about it. We will step aside as well and be back with more of the third quarter after this on the Mattawan Wildcats Network.
Good luck to the Mattawan Wildcats from the staff and management at Main Street Pub, Mattawan's local stop for food and fun. For 20 years, Main Street Pub has been the official pregame and postgame stop of the Mattawan Wildcats, offering salads, soups and chili, apps, sandwiches, wraps, flatbreads, main courses, and their famous gourmet burgers. Order online for pickup or stop in. We're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Hey, and don't forget, Main Street Pub gift cards make great gifts. Main Street Pub, exit 66, just north of I-94. Go Wildcats!
10-8, our third quarter score with 3:34 to go in the frame. Carolyn Binder alongside Lance Caparosi. Glad you're with us for homecoming night from Wildcats Stadium on the Mattawan Wildcats Network. And it's the Wildcats offense going squarely in the wrong direction. David Aerosmith taking the timeout to reset his guys. 3rd down and 27. They'll spread it out, more conventional shotgun. And now Van Leer flushed. He's going to get lost in a group and dropped. So an unfortunate end to what started as a promising drive. Defense standing tall, getting the ball back, turnover on downs, and unable to convert is the offense. But I like your silver lining. I'm all about it. I'm here for it. The defense got to sit for some time there and get their legs back underneath them. The clock rolling now, under 3 to go in the quarter. As the punt is off just barely by Jacob. Good towering punt, and that's going to back Grand Ledge up near their own 10-yard line. So I'll add to that silver lining that the defense got to sit, and that was a great punt. And so more special teams helping out here where the offense is, I'll call it faltering, some of the things that have happened to them on these last couple of drives. But the special teams really standing up, defense really standing up, and Grand Ledge is back deep in their own territory.
Yeah, that was a great punt by Drew Marucci. You know, that is 2 times tonight where he has pinned the ball in just inside the 10. Great punt, great awareness by the special teams. And, I mean, you love to see it. He is giving this offense no breathing room.
Aerosmith likes to throw the wrinkles in there, and Drew Marucci, one of those on special teams, fake the handoff, get the swing pass out, and complete. Upfield is Foster. 1st down yardage and a little more for Grand Ledge on 1st down.
What I like Mattawan is doing early, they're giving them a little room, and, you know, they have, you know, Grand Ledge, they've been able to complete, you know, some decent plays and get a nice chunk of yard here and there, but they're not over pursuing. They're not giving up too much. And then they, you know, as the possessions go longer, these drives get longer, this defense just gets more aggressive. And that's what I think we'll continue to see.
Ball on the Comets' 20-yard line. 1st down and 10 upcoming, 2:37 to go, 3rd quarter. Called with a man in motion. They hand it off up the middle. Looked like Stocker in his normal position, just charging straight up the middle of the defense. And that's what he's done all night. He's chunked 4, 5, 6 yards each time he touches the football.
Oh, absolutely. And like they run the ball really, really well, and it's been setting up other parts of their offense. But
sent a man in motion, some miscommunication, it looked like, at the line. Looked like quarterback was trying to hand it off, and Kolb had nobody to hand it off to. He spun around at the 30. Tolentino in on the stop for Mattawan will bring down a 3rd down and 2. Kolb, even with the miscommunication, able to spin around and make a little something out of that. And the clock rolling at 1:35 to go in the quarter. Mattawan leads it 10-8. Handoff goes to Stocker, and he's just across the 1st down marker. Again for a Grand Ledge 1st down.
Even though their offense is running the ball well, the thing that another opponent of theirs outside of Mattawan is the clock. You know, there's a lot of time being taken off the game clock right now as they're getting ready to set up. The running is great, but eventually, you know, they're going to have to put their foot on the pedal.
They'll send a man in motion. They'll take it to the air downfield and way overshoots his man, Caden Walsh, into traffic as well. And I think they're starting to sense that as well with 1:07 to go in the quarter. Don't blame them for trying it on 1st down.
No, I mean, it was a great attempt, and you'd love to see them put the ball in the air if you're the Mattawan Wildcats. Like, that's a great advantage because they have plenty of playmakers on the defensive side to get after that ball. But also now it's just they're moving away from what's working for them.
2nd down and 10 off the incomplete pass from the Comets' 32-yard line, and the shotgun is called. Handoff to Stocker. He tries to get the far corner. He does get a little extra push up near the 40-yard line.
Stocker with the run. Wildcats stop by 24. Daggett.
Connor Daggett leading the stop that time for the Wildcats defense. Clock rolling at 48 seconds to go, 3rd quarter, 10-8 the lead for Mattawan on homecoming night from Wildcat Stadium. They'll toll the bell on 3rd and 4. Defense has answered a couple of times in these positions. They send 3 wide receivers to the far side, tipped and caught across midfield, and that will keep the Grand Ledge drive alive with 25 seconds to go. Good catch upfield, and Drew Marucci there for the stop, but not before Grand Ledge gets a 1st down.
And again, you know, if you're Mattawan, again, you don't like to see them get 1st downs, but again, that clock just going down. Even though they're starting to move the ball a little bit, you still gotta like the position that you're in if you're Mattawan.
Clock rolling at 7 seconds, and Kolb trying to get a play off. 1 second, they do get it snapped as Stocker takes the handoff. As the clock hits triple zeros, our score remains Mattawan 10, Grand Ledge 8 after 3. We'll be back after this timeout for the final quarter of play from homecoming night on the Mattawan Wildcats Network.
Mommy, what's wrong with Daddy? He just found out how much equity we have in our house. Equity? It means our house is worth more money now than when we bought it. How much more?
A lot more! Like a new garage more!
A new swimming pool more! Yes! And with Honor Credit Union's home equity line of credit starting as low as 0.99% APR or a home equity loan as low as 2.99% APR, we might just do it all.
Terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer. Subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity. Insured by NCUA.
You put a lot of thought into your kitchen and bath, so at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, they put a lot of care into making it just right. They've been doing it that way for over 50 years. It's names like Craftmade, the #1 name in cabinetry that provides unmatched quality every step of the way. At Hannibal, they think quality should come standard. It's why they include a host of sought-after features at no extra cost. From traditional to contemporary, from new construction to renovation, trust Craftmade and the experts at Hannibal Kitchen, Bath, Window, and Door, 9th Street off M43, Kalamazoo.
Mattawan 10, Grand Ledge 8 as we start quarter number 4 from homecoming night at Wildcat Stadium. The final frame at home, week number 6. The handoff, looking for room up the middle of the field as Grand Ledge now moving right to left across the Mattawan Wildcats network. On 2nd down, James Campbell leading the tackling for the Wildcats. Just underway in the final quarter of play. Now 3rd down and 3, and we're glad you're with us. You feel this kind of like pent up energy on both sides. This thing could go either way, so a lot of football left, just underway in the final quarter. 3rd down and 3, they'll send a man in motion. Kolb with the quarterback keeper, and he's right at the sticks, maybe just beyond it, and could have gotten just enough for the 1st down. And it is officially a Grand Ledge 1st down.
You know, if I'm Mattawan, I'm not upset. I'm still going to remain composed because, again, that play clock, that game clock, it is going down. And, you know, even though they're in enemy territory, it's, you know, this defense is capable of getting a big play, making a big play and getting a stop.
Ball at the Mattawan 38-yard line. They fake the handoff going up the middle of the field and far overshoots everybody.
But that's what you like to see from this offense, putting the ball in the air, because I love the playmakers on Mattawan's side. And they're doing a great job when it comes to, you know, these pass plays. They haven't let Grand Ledge get much through the air.
Clock stopped at 10:45 to go, final quarter. 10-8 our score in favor of Mattawan at home tonight, celebrating homecoming week number 6. And second down upcoming from the Wildcat 38-yard line. They send a man in motion, fumble on the snap, and all Called can do is roll over it near midfield, so a break for the defense there. And they'll call it officially a 3rd down and 17. The only advantage to those passes falling incomplete for Grand Ledge was that the clock stopped, and on that fumble on the snap, clock rolling again at 10:19 and kind of almost mishandled the snap. Called able to get it out for complete up the far sideline, and that's near the original line of scrimmage. 4th down and about 9 upcoming.
And that was a great completion from Cobb right there. Just, he had a man in his face. Great pressure being brought by Mattawan, but I got to give him credit. That was one heck of a completion right there.
And look at this down on the Mattawan sideline. Van Leer staying loose. His team owns a 10-8 lead with 9:41 to go and rolling. They're going for it. Cobb drops back, looking for his man downfield, in pursuit, floats it down. That's complete to the 20, still on his feet, into the end zone. Touchdown, Grand Ledge. Sean Foster with a quick hitch, and he made it 6. My goodness.
We've talked about Mattawan's pass defense, for a good chunk of tonight, and they've done well. They have done well, but that play, that was great by Grand Ledge right there. Being able to buy some times by rolling around outside of the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, and then firing it in to a wide open receiver who ran it in for a touchdown.
And the point after touchdown is up and good with 9:26 to go. Things getting a little more interesting here from Wildcat Stadium. Grand Ledge takes the lead back 15-10. They had a 2-point conversion on their first touchdown. More traditional field goal after touchdown there. And they've totaled their score from last week in their loss against DeWitt with 9:26 to go for Mattawan. They've led through the second and third quarters and trailing for the first time in a while at 15-10, 9:26 to go. So still plenty of football left, especially the way that Mattawan has moved the football. The key on this upcoming drive is to avoid the drive killers that have stopped the momentum dead in its tracks on a couple of occasions where this might be a different score. You never want to go back to shoulda, coulda, woulda, and you definitely know that this coaching staff is not doing that, but you got to look at it, and we do because we're up here in the booth, that those were some of the more impactful things that stopped those drives. But if they led to points, we're talking about a different score.
Yeah, there's no reason to panic. Just go out there, run your offense. You've been able to show Grand Ledge that you can get big plays on this defense.
And they'll send a squib kick. Interesting technique. All he could do, the up back near the 40-yard line, was he wanted to run with it. It almost slipped out of his hand, so he fell on it wisely. And officially marked at the Mattawan 38-yard line. That's where the Wildcats take over. 1st down and 10. 8:59 to go, final quarter. Van Leer marches out to his huddle. And no doubt, he's got his marching orders. I got this, guys. Let's go.
And I think anytime the quarterback comes out there with a little bit of swag and confidence, it's always a good thing, and that's what we're seeing from Ryan Van Leer right now. Let's see what they can do offensively, though.
The I formation, Van Leer under center. Handoff to Blaine Rogers, and he's all the way to midfield. That was Rogers all the way. and a good run on first down by their leading rusher.
Yeah, it looked like an 11-yard run right there for Blaine Rogers, and we've seen that a lot tonight. And, unfortunately, some of them have been brought back, but again, they are responding positively early, and I love to see that ground game from Blaine Rogers. Love the offensive play sets they're coming out with as well.
Yeah, mixing it up, full house in the backfield, handed it off to Rogers. He goes opposite side, and he's dropped at the line of scrimmage, unable to get the corner. Second down and 9 upcoming, clock rolling at 14 to go, Grand Ledge leading Mattawan 15-10. And I like this. You don't see panic. You realizing there's time left on the clock, definitely not in a 2-minute drill, definitely not rushing things. Get your sets out there. Run your play. They'll bring a full house to the backfield. Van Leer under center. And the lights go out. So how about this? Coming back to haunt the grounds crew here at Mattawan as the ball was snapped. 7:31 remaining in the fourth quarter. They give them a yard, third down and 8, and the first responders doing their first responder thing over on the far end zone, getting their lights on right away. I don't think that's enough to light the field by any stretch. Last time here at home against Stevensville, had issues with the lights at halftime, and the lights came on with no issues, but to our far side, and it looks like to me these lights above the press box are also out. It appears that
nope, the lights are on our side.
So it's the same setup as before, where the lights above, so the lights above the press box, and yes, now I can inch my way out and see lights illuminating the near side and the Mattawan sideline.
I think someone saw the outlet, they're like, this score doesn't look important. Let me plug in my cell phone real quick.
So we'll do some troubleshooting with the lights. So once again here at Wildcat Stadium, new wrinkles, and what are you gonna say?
I don't even know. I'm tongue twisting right now. It's just, what is a Friday night football game with something unexpected happening?
Exactly, and why not on homecoming night, second home game for the Wildcats, and the referee crew huddled at midfield, grounds crew, and most certainly athletic director Chad Yeager doing their troubleshooting thing to figure these lights out. It's the same set of lights that went out or didn't come, either it didn't come back on, or I don't think I ever saw them come on in the first place against Lakeshore. But and I gotta hand it to the Van Buren EMS over to our right. They're lined up. Ambulance, looks like a couple of ambulance. They had a fire truck out here for the parade, no doubt, or a first responder fire truck. And they're doing their best to light something. Certainly not gonna do the same as the big field lights, and I think that's what the referee crew is talking about. So, well, let's do this. We've talked a lot about your conversation with head coach David Aerosmith. If you joined us in the pre 10-minute delay as opposed to close to 40-minute delay a few weeks ago. We're back under center, full house. And up the field, some contact as Ryan Van Leer lets it fly. And he was practicing keeping loose during that about 10, 12-minute delay. That one flew long, and it'll bring up 4th down and 8.
I like that offensive play call, though, just to take one quick shot downfield.
They will punt it. And this has been working for Mattawan. Nobody back to receive. And another great punt by Drew Marucci. That's the little wrinkle that Aerosmith is throwing into the special teams. Drew Marucci doing the punting, and they've got him pinned way back. Now it's the defense's turn. It was 7:09 to go in this game. Your team has been up by a slim margin, but a margin nonetheless, 10-8, up until late in the third quarter, into the fourth quarter. And that's when Grand Ledge cracked the end zone again. And getting it done with Stocker, he takes the first play from scrimmage, moving right to left across the Mattawan Wildcats network. Gain of 3. Mattawan has 2 timeouts. Grand Ledge has 3. The clock rolling at 6:40 to go. Kolb hands it off. A hole that was closed quickly, but a hole nonetheless. That Stocker popped through for a couple more yards up to the 15-yard line.
This is where you want to see Mattawan just, not break. Just see if they can get a quick 3 and out on this team.
They certainly got their fair share of those in the opening half. And just an odd extra amount of time with 10 minutes to address the lights, but with 5 minutes to go in the game, they get the big push that time. And here comes the defensive line swarming Stocker, and he'll be backed up near the 10.
Just great stop by the Mattawan defense. We've been seeing that level of play from them all night. And again, we cannot say it enough. Like, Grand Ledge averages 38 a game. You have pointed that out, same as me on this broadcast. But, they only have 15 points, and this defense is playing great. Let's see if they can get it out and do a little something offensively.
James Campbell leading the stop. We got a blocked punt earlier in this one that led to the first score for Mattawan, and Grand Ledge is going to take a timeout and talk about it with 5:10 to go in the quarter. Comets lead the Wildcats 15-10, and I'm not sure if he was just trying to see what Mattawan was lining up or what, but the punting unit for Grand Ledge, the special teams unit, certainly has to be on edge. It's almost carbon copy of what happened when Carter Schuring popped that one out, got the punt block, he picked it up and went in for 6. So a little bit of a danger zone for Grand Ledge in this area. They'll snap it from the 12 officially. So not sure if he was just resetting the line, kind of wanting to see what Aerosmith was bringing to him, but
yeah, it looks like it's max protect punt right here, because there's nobody on the outside looking to make a play when the ball goes down. They're just trying to protect.
And punter is at the end zone, gets a line drive punt that rolls near midfield, and Daggett there to pick it up a couple of yards, but nonetheless in Grand Ledge territory. That's where Mattawan will take over. First down and 10, 5:01 to go, final quarter of play. And Mattawan trails Grand Ledge 15-10.
This is where I want to see the ball being put in Ryan Van Leer's hands. You know, set something up with the run a little bit, but like we saw last week against Portage Northern, 2 quick plays down the sideline. He's able to complete those type of passes.
More traditional look for the Wildcat offense. They send 3 receivers to the right of Van Leer, and the shotgun fakes the quick out, floats it out, gets it complete. Here comes Rogers, spins around the 40, across the 35, and he's being pushed forward, finally out of bounds, and he's saying, come on guys, let's pump it up. He didn't actually get tackled, he just got pushed out of bounds, and he stayed on his feet the entire time, which is incredible.
Yeah, if they didn't push him out of bounds, I think he would have carried 3 guys with him to the end zone. Great heads-up play, though, by Ryan Van Leer. He felt the pressure. He rolled out. Blaine Rogers stopped in his tracks. Nobody around him, floated it up, able to get the ball down the field for a few extra yards.
And the clock stops at 4:48, 14 yards on that play. Blaine Rogers looking for room across the 30, and he's going to do it again. The Blaine Rogers show on the last 2 plays from scrimmage for Mattawan. Adam Blue on the stop for Grand Ledge. They'll gain them 7 that time. Ball on the Grand Ledge 27-yard line, 2nd down and 3. High snap, handoff, sidestep, and more yards for Blaine Rogers. He is putting this team absolutely on his back. Another first down for Mattawan with 4:10 to go in the game. Wildcats trail Grand Ledge 15-10, but on the back of Blaine Rogers, they are driving. They'll mark them shy of the 15 to the 18, but still a first down for Mattawan. And Rogers in the backfield behind his quarterback. Grand Ledge going to take a timeout. We'll keep it here with under 4 minutes to go in the game, and that's a wise timeout by the Comets as they got to come up with something to stop Blaine Rogers. But coming into this game, he has to be near the top of your scouting report if you're the opponent.
Yeah, no, he's ran the ball pretty well all season long, but tonight it's just a different. They're getting a great push up front. You know, we've seen Ryan Van Leer scramble out of the pocket a few times, but when it comes to the running game, this offensive line is getting a great push and creating a lot of lanes for Blaine Rogers to, you know, make some plays. We haven't seen that type of play from the offensive line all season, so it's nice and a little different to see them get a push and actually, you know, have. It seems like they have the advantage against Grand Ledge's defensive line.
Just a different energy happening, and we talked about it with it being homecoming. It's kind of instinctive that there's a different energy that's going to be out here on the field, but it's impressive how that's really carried throughout this game. A 12-ish minute delay for the lights, and no worse for the wear. This Wildcats offense back to work with under 4 to go in the shotgun. Handoff, Rogers charging forward across the 15 near the 10. And he's just going corner to corner, just taunting this defense right now.
And it is just, I mean, we've seen him run the ball well. Like I pointed that out just a few minutes ago, but it is a different energy from him tonight. He's lowering the shoulder, getting after it. I love to see him run the ball this way.
2nd down and 5, gain of 5, and they'll stay in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the right of Van Leer. Fake the handoff, they'll pass it into traffic. And that falls incomplete.
It was a good attempt though. Like I like that, just kind of keep Grand Ledge on their toes just a little bit.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 5 now, 3:48 to go. They'll stay in the shotgun, keep the 3 receivers to the right, and all hands, all eyes on Blaine Rogers that time. He falls forward for a couple. That's gonna bring up a 4th down. Officially a 4th and 4 And now Aerosmith going to take a timeout. This is a wise timeout by David with 3:28 to go. 4th and 4 upcoming for Mattawan. We'll keep it here, and we'll start guessing what David's talking about to his team in this huddle.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see them put the kicking team out there because this defense for them has played pretty well. And, you know, I mean, it's better to get a few points on there, especially on a 4th and 4 when the offense seems, you know, they had some great runs by Blaine Rogers, but it seems like they've lost just a little momentum going into this possession right here.
Yeah, and you would have thought that pass, even though it was incomplete, just throwing the pass in the mix because Blaine was just running it down their throats. You would have thought that would have kept them enough on their heels that something more would have happened on that 3rd down. Unfortunately for Mattawan, Grand Ledge was not falling for it, and as soon as that ball was snapped, everybody converged on Blaine Rogers, and that's what set up this 4th and 4. We'll see what package David Aerosmith comes with out of the timeout. And number 5 marches onto the field on 4th and 4. Confidence in his quarterback. Blaine Rogers in the backfield, twins to the right and left. They'll send a man in motion. Van Leer the snap. Fake the handoff. Blaine with some room. He's near the 10, pushing forward. And Mattawan is pushing like they have it. They do not give him the spot, though. Not a generous spot by this crew, but they've certainly got the better vantage point on it than I do. David Aerosmith wants an explanation. And, you know, I'm going to go back to silver lining. You're still putting this, there's no points on the board, but you're still putting this right now in the hands of your defense to get the ball back for you.
That was an awfully close spot, though, on the field.
Yeah, it was close. They decide not to measure it. Grand Ledge takes over on downs. Handoff goes up the middle. Hawkward, excuse me. Somebody not named Stocker for once, and surprising that he's not lining up with under 3 to go. 1 timeout apiece for these teams as the clock rolls under 3 minutes. So clock starting to play against Mattawan. They led it most of the way through the 2nd and into the 3rd quarter. But it's Grand Ledge who leads 15-10, clock rolling at 2.5 minutes to go. And they're going to take their time to snap this football with the 5-point lead. Send a man in motion, weaving down to the 15. Again, Hawkward.
No gain on that play either. So still 3rd and 7. I like the way Mattawan's defense has responded. Unfortunately, you know, Grand Ledge has the advantage with the 5-point lead. You know, they have a good running game. They're able to control the clock a little bit. This is where the pressure's being felt, but I like the way Mattawan's responded.
They'll toll the bell on 3rd down and 6. Clock rolling under 2 minutes to go, 1:43. And getting the crowd revved up, get the noise going. They send a man in motion, and Mattawan gonna get the stop on 3rd down. And I think David Aerosmith called a timeout immediately on the stop. So a 4th down and 6 upcoming, the official spot at the Grand Ledge 14-yard line, although it may be an injury timeout, although they've taken the timeout off the board for Mattawan. They do have an injured lineman for Grand Ledge down on the field being attended to with 1:25 to go. A 4th down and 2 upcoming. Official spot from the 18-yard line. Discussion happening about potentially getting the timeout back. Aerosmith called the timeout, but I think that was before it was clear that there was an injured player on the field. Referees talking about it near the Mattawan sideline.
You know, I wonder if Grand Ledge keeps their offense on the field right here. I mean, it's a 4th and 2. They are in their own territory. Turnover on downs, that's going to lead to some. I'm glad I'm not in their position. I'm glad I just get to talk about the game.
Well, we can talk about Jeff Kolb staying on the field. The quarterback staying on the field out of the timeout, and Mattawan now out of timeouts. 1:25 to go. They send a man in motion. Cobb in the shotgun, trying to draw this defense off sides, and that has to be the message delivered by Aerosmith. Reese Cordell marching and not going to fall for it, so forced a timeout by Grand Ledge. Clock stayed still at 1:25, as did the Mattawan defensive line that time. So great poise and composure by that defensive line. It's the oldest trick in the book on 4th and 2, trying to draw your opponent off sides. And Reese Cordell, I have not seen quite that stance on it. He went in motion, and then he just stood there, and he was kind of high kneeing it for, you know, the snap count. And I more than likely just trying to distract players from the football. But Mattawan's defensive line stands tall. 1:25 to go, 4th and 2 out of the timeout.
I thought for a second Grand Ledge would just hold and then try to get the delay of game to give them. Well, I mean, that wouldn't even have made sense even if they had done that. But, you know, good on Mattawan to not bite on what they were trying to do.
So nobody with timeouts. Everybody at 0 there. 1:25 to go in the game. And a high snap, nearly blocked again. Daggett gonna let it fly, and it's just in Mattawan territory on the punt. The 44-yard line, call it the 43, and that's where the Wildcats take over. 1:16 to go, and we've got a nail-biter down the stretch on homecoming night at Wildcat Stadium. Grand Ledge 15, Mattawan 10. Carolyn Binder alongside Lance Caparosi. Glad you're with us. Week number 6 on the Mattawan Wildcats Network, and it's been a good one. A lot of things going right tonight for Mattawan. The silver lining on Grand Ledge, no matter what the outcome is, and I don't want to predict it by any stretch of the imagination, but holding this offensively potent team so far. In the first play from scrimmage up the sideline, and they'll wind the clock, keeping them in bounds. And there's some confusion with what's going on, but they'll wind the clock now under a minute. So we're in the hurry-up offense for Mattawan. Complete the pass again up the sideline. Kiesling with 2 catches from his quarterback, and that time it is out of bounds. So the clock stops at 48 seconds. The hurry-up offense is on now from the 39-yard line of Grand Ledge. First down and 10 in the shotgun. The single back drops back, and it's intercepted by Grand Ledge, and that's gonna seal the fate, I believe, of the Mattawan Wildcats. My goodness, they were moving, and it was Ryan Kiesling, but he tried to go to him again, and that was going there one too many times.
And, I like the offensive play call. I really like the 2-minute offense. Like Smith, he's been known to play fast, but that was something he talked about in the pregame interview as well, that they're trying to get Ryan Van Leer to develop trust in other receivers. That a lot of times during these games, he locks on to 2 or 3 of these guys. Keesleen is someone that Coach Smith mentioned, and that right there was, he might be reliable, he might have good hands, but, sometimes you got to look other ways.
40 seconds to go, and in the victory formation, they took a knee, a little extra push on the line. Nobody with timeout, so clock rolling at 25 seconds. And players retreating to their sidelines. That's going to do it. A disappointing end to this one, but a good game out there. Mattawan falls to Grand Ledge by a final of 15-10. Lance, some final thoughts before we go into our post game.
I just want to say that unfortunately it's a loss for Mattawan, but you played well against Grand Ledge. I know they're a team that averages 38 points, and you held them to 15.
15-10 the final. Grand Ledge sneaks out of here on homecoming night with a win over Mattawan. We'll recap this one after this timeout on the Mattawan Wildcats Network.
Good luck to the Mattawan Wildcats from the staff and management at Main Street Pub, Mattawan's local stop for food and fun. For 20 years, Main Street Pub has been the official pregame and postgame stop of the Mattawan Wildcats, offering salads, soups and chili, apps, sandwiches, wraps, flatbreads, main courses, and their famous gourmet burgers. Order online for pickup or stop in. We're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Hey, and don't forget, Main Street Pub gift cards make great gifts. Main Street Pub, exit 66, just north of I-94. Go Wildcats!
Mommy, what's wrong with Daddy? He just found out how much equity we have in our house. Equity? It means our house is worth more money now than when we bought it. How much more?
A lot more! Like a new garage more!
A new swimming pool more! Yes! And with Honor Credit Union's home equity line of credit starting as low as 0.99% APR, or a home equity loan as low as 2.99% APR, we might just do it all!
Terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer. Subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity. Insured by NCUA.
Hundreds of vehicles. Tapper has them. 3 Paw locations. Tapper has them. Looking for Buick, Chevy, or GMC? Tapper has them. Looking for Ford F-150, Ford Escape Explorer, or the reimagined Bronco? Tapper has them. 3 Paw locations with new and pre-owned vehicles, expert service, and on-the-spot financing. Tapper has them. Tapper Buick, Chevy, and GMC. Tapper Ford, and Tapper Budget Cars off Red Arrow Highway. Get to the Paw exit 60 off I-94. Tapper Automotive, proud sponsor of the Mattawan Wildcats.
15-10 our final from Wildcats Stadium. Grand Ledge sneaks out of here with a win over the Mattawan Wildcats on homecoming night. And it was a back and forth game from the start. Carolyn Binder alongside Lance Caparosi with you for post-game recap here for week number 6. And the Grand Ledge Comets came out. They cracked the scoreboard first on really on the legs of their main running back. Mason Stocker got things done early for them. They cracked the scoreboard first, got a 2-point conversion. Then it was a blocked punt from Mattawan that really ignited some things here for the Wildcats tonight. Ignited this crowd, ignited this sideline. The energy was bumping, and you really thought they were going to let that propel them through and get them the win tonight. They're falling short after that, and they got a field goal, which, you know, special teams really rising up. And silver linings. Let's talk silver linings.
You know, silver linings, the defense. We said this, I've said it tons of times tonight. You brought it up earlier, but Grand Ledge, they averaged 38 points a game. The defense held them to 15. They played aggressive, and the thing I really enjoyed about this game versus, games earlier in the season is the defense played both halves. They didn't get, normally most of the time, like in the second half, we see that they get a little tired. They don't bring that energy that they do in the first half. But this time they were able to sustain it all throughout the game, and that was great. I love to see that. I love that they established the run. We've talked about the run game a lot during the season, and a lot of the run game, a huge chunk of their yards, it seems like, from week 1 up until this game, have come on a few long drives. But tonight they were able to chip away and then get a few of those big plays as well. They got a great push up front by their offensive line, and maybe they're turning the corner to where we're seeing a complete game from Mattawan on all three sides of the ball: offense, defense, and special teams.
Mattawan falls to 1-5 with the loss tonight. Grand Ledge up to 5-1. Of course, both teams out of conference next week. Both teams going back into their respective conferences as Grand Ledge back to the CAAC. They will be facing Okemos from Mattawan, going back on the road, and they'll face Battle Creek Lakeview back in the SMAC. So another tall test in conference against the Spartans, but a lot of good things happening in this game to take into that game despite the outcome tonight.
Yeah, I think another thing too, and again, not to nitpick, but the penalties, just those small mistakes where, maybe you're getting a little bit more excited. You don't want to see too many holding penalties, which is a rarity for Mattawan because they normally play a fairly clean game week in, week out. But tonight, just a few mental lapses that brought the ball back when they were in position to put a few more points on the board.
We will bring you Week 7 action next week. Lance and I will be in Battle Creek for that one. The 6:45 pregame, 7 p.m. kick right here on the Mattawan Wildcats Network. Lots of people to thank for this one. First, start with Joe Jason for the scouting report, news and notes on Grand Ledge. That coming from the DeWitt Panthers Network, our sister station. And head coach David Airasmith for his pregame thoughts, which ended up being a good lighting issue buffer. That was good commentary, and look forward to continuing to speak with him throughout the season. And of course, for my broadcast partner Lance Caparosi, I'm Carolyn Binder, saying one more time, Mattawan falls to Grand Ledge on homecoming night, 15-10. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. So long.
You've been listening to Live